Hi everyone, my name is Miss Sara with the Wixom Public Library and welcome to our first summer craft. So we are going to be doing some zoo animal things today, and we're going to real quick go over what should have been in the bag that you came and got from the library before we get into how to construct, how to make things. Okay? And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. If your bag is missing anything, let us know. Let's get started. So your bag should have had a sealed bag with an animal and some beads in it. Your animal may vary. It may not be the same as mine. In your bag, you should have some, it's going to be hard to see, you should have some googly eyes taped inside. You can save the tape because we can use it for our second craft. Okay, and then we're also making a parrot. So for your parrot, in addition to the googly eyes, you should have some paint and a paintbrush. You should have some yarn and a piece of foam. You should have a toothpick, and then you should have a cup with a bunch of feathers in it. Okay? So your bag will also have a scavenger hunt inside of it, so you can cut these out and have a grown-up hide them for you and have a fun scavenger hunt wherever you like. And as it is summer reading has started. So there is a flyer for how to sign up and read to earn prizes this summer. So what your bag will not have is glue and scissors, and if you would like to use tape also. So you should only need glue and scissors if you save the tape that was in here, but that's all. Okay, let's get started with our two crafts. Okay, so we're gonna get started with our animal. And again, your animal might be different than mine, but they're still gonna do the same thing to make it. Okay, so you're gonna get all your pieces out of the bag, and then we're gonna get started. Whatever animal you have should have some foam inside of holes. So we're gonna work on getting those out, okay? Okay, so we've got all of our foam poked out of our stand and our animal, and we've got our leaves out. Okay, so let's get started. So for my giraffe and for whatever animal you have, we are gonna put on their head first. Oops, your paper may rip on your sticker, but that is okay. Just gonna get that off. And make sure you've got the side with the color on it. And we're gonna pop on the head. Make sure it's nice and stuck. We're gonna do the face to make it pop. Make sure it's nice and stuck. Okay, now we're gonna use our beads. So the holes that we took the foam out of, we are going to take our beads, whatever color you have, and we're going to push them into each hole to make a pattern, to make spots. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so we've got all of our beads in. You may have extras, and that is okay. You can use them for something else, or you can get rid of them. Up to you. Okay, so now we're going to use our base, and we're going to stick the feet of our animal into the holes so that he's standing up. Then we've got some leaves, some grass. We're gonna stick that in so it looks like a nature scene. So now we've got our animals, and you can display them wherever you think that they would look pretty. Okay, let's move on to our funky parrot. This is fun, okay? So first we're going to start, take my feathers out of my cup here. We are going to paint our cup first so that it can dry and get out of the way, okay? So you've got your cup of red paint. I would suggest putting your hand inside of your cup and just going along the sides. Okay, so we're just gonna paint our whole cup, and I would paint the top as well. So we're just gonna take our time and we're gonna fill in all the white spaces, okay? So let's do that. Okay, so now that our cup is painted and dry, we are going to get started on assembling our parrot. So remember, in our bag, we have some googly eyes. So what I'm gonna do is carefully take these out of the bag, and I'm going to take the eyes off. And I'm going to save this tape to use so that it doesn't go to waste. So I'm just going to stick it on my table here. And now we're going to find the back of our cup where the seam is. And we're going to take our yarn, we're going to hold it on there, and we're going to use that tape and tape on the end of the yarn, okay? It doesn't really matter how much tape, you can trim it if you want, because we're going to cover it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start circling the bottom of our cup with yarn to give some texture and design to our bottom of our parrot. So you can kind of do however you want. You can crisscross, you can just circle around and around, but we are gonna, and you can always adjust after too. So don't worry about getting it perfectly how you want it because it's not glued down. And then we're just gonna take the end, once we get to the end, back to the seam, and I'm going to tuck this under one of the loops. Okay, so it's kind of almost like a little knot. And this way, if you want to change it later, you can. It's not glued down. Then I'm going to trim off the tail. And then if we want, we kind of adjust and move what we did so we make sure it's what we like. Okay, so that was that. Then we're going to prep the top of our cup. So we're going to decide, this is to put feathers in. So we've got our toothpick. We're just going to, and you can use grown-up help for this if you need to. We're just going to poke our toothpick wherever we think we might want to stick some feathers in. So that's where I think, that's where I want them. And then we're done, I think I'm going to do 3. So we're done with our toothpick. Okay, then we need to prep our beak. So this is a free form, whatever shape you want. If you want to do a triangle beak, if you want to do kind of like a loopy beak, I'm just going to cut out a shape that feels right to me. I think I like that. Okay, so we've got our eyes, we've got our beak, we've got our feathers. Let's assemble, okay? So I'm going to use some hot glue just so I can show you really quickly how to do this. But you can use regular glue for this. It'll just take a bit to dry. Okay, so use regular glue. And remember, it'll dry clear. So finding the back of our cup on the seam, I'm going to go to the front and I'm going to put on my eyes. On an eye here. Pop on an eye over here. Okay, so there's our eyes, and then decide where I want my beak. So right there. Pop on the beak. Okay. So if using regular glue, let this dry, okay, before you do your feathers. But I'm going to now, just to show you, I'm going to pick out the feathers that I want on the top. I think I'm going to find a tall one. We're just going to stick the end of the feathers into our toothpick holes, as deep as you want to go. I think I'm going to do this green one. Actually, let's try to do this purple. And maybe a yellow. Yeah. Oops, that feather broke. That's okay. If it breaks, you can just trim off the end and try again. There we go. Okay, so now we've got kind of like a headdress, like his hair feathers, okay? So then you're gonna pick which ones you want to be wings. So you can do one on each side, you can do a bunch, it's up to you. But I would stick them on the side, like so, just through your yarn. And you can just leave it like this if you think you wanna change them around. Or you can use some glue, because remember, it'll dry clear, and you can fix it onto your yarn so that it stays put. But that's up to you. If you know that this is exactly how you want it to be forever, you can do that. But if you think you want to change out colors and stuff, you can also not glue it down. I'm going to stick that there. And I like this, so I'm just going to put some glue on. Okay, so now, and you can adjust your feathers how you want. And you can use your extra feathers for something else. You can glue them all over your parrot. It is up to you. But we have our funky, fun, feathered parrot friend. Okay? So let us know, again, if you have any questions about your crafts, and also feel free to show us what you made. We hope you have fun and have a good summer. Thanks.